Hey guys. Is anybody there? My name is Toxic Gifts from Ivano-Frankivsk, Ukraine. I want to bring to you another beautiful topic today. And guess what we're talking about? Be careful, your male child might be molested without your notice. Be careful. Your male child might be molested without your notice. So who is joining us today? Who is the first out there? It's oh my God, Mr. Peter, thank you for joining. God bless you. You're the first on the show today. Big voice today. We talked about a lot of things. I talked about my life story. Hello, Mr. Cole. Hello, Benjamin. Whoa, guys are flowing in. Thank you, guys. God bless you. Do want to share this video. I'm sure somebody's going to learn something. Excuse me. My parents, if you're an uncle, you're an auntie, your father, or you're still going to be a father, just help me share this video. Thank you, Mr. Nsika Essen, for joining. Thank you, Sanchez Silva, for joining. God bless you. This is Toxic Gifts, and I'm bringing to you this life story from Ukraine. Excuse me, I think I'm having some problem with my throat. A lot of us have, a lot of people have seen that. A lot of people have been talking about ladies issue, girl child molestation, girl child abuse, girl child, and I was like, who's talking about the male child here? Is the word only about the female child? Is the word only about the female child? The word involves both the male and the female. And some of those guys are also going through this whole thing and nobody's talking about it. Rice Mills, thank you for joining. And next to, thank you for joining. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce your name well. Please help me share this video, invite your friends, tag somebody. Believe me, this topic will blow your mind. This topic is going to help a lot of us. It's going to help a lot of us who are uncles, who are aunties, who are fathers. Thank you, Nelly, for joining. God bless you. So we'll be talking about next few minutes. We'll talk about, be careful, your male child might be molested without your notice. And people are really been talking about just the girl child, but seriously, there are a lot of boys who are going through molestation and nobody knows about it. Nobody's talking about it, as if they don't exist, as if they don't have a voice, and they're so quiet, they can't talk. It's like nobody's talking about this whole thing. And it got to me because somebody shared his life story with me and he's afraid to tell the world about it. He's so afraid to tell the world about it. So it's like now he's needs peace, and I'm like, no, please, I have to talk about this, because if I don't talk about it, a lot of male children, a lot of boys will be undergoing this molestation, and nobody knows about it. Nobody cares. Everybody just care about the female child, forgetting that the male child, a lot of them are also facing the same molestation. So it's really something we have to talk about. It's really something so important. Thank you so much, Mr. Enoch, for joining. God bless you. Please tag somebody, invite your friends. It is not for I'm a female child. It's not for my use. It's not for my glory. It's not for my celebration. It's not for anything. But it's just to bring an awareness to parents, awareness to uncles, to aunties, to mothers who really don't saying that a male child can actually be molested. So we have been just facing too much on the girl child, forgetting that even the male child actually faced the same thing we're talking about. So I just want to share this life story with you, because the person who told me this life story is so afraid to even talk to the world. He's so afraid. He's like, Gift, you're the first person I'm telling this thing, because I've been keeping it to myself for years, and I've been feeling this pain, and I don't know what, so for me to have even opened up to tell you this thing, you have just been more than a friend. You have just been too nice, too kind to me. That's why I'm opening up to tell you this part of my life that my parents do not know. That my parents do not know. So I was like, wow. So boys can actually go through this whole thing and nobody knows about it. So parents, we need to be, we are teaching our children, not just the female. Let's not just concentrate on just the female children, but also the male. The male out there, they're actually going through a whole lot, but you might not know. You might think, okay, because they are male, let's not pay too much attention. I don't think a lot of people will go out there to want to abuse the boy, but the target is on the girls. The target is on the boys. It's on the boys party. Thank you so much, Pastor Francis Njoku, for joining. Thank you, Sam, for joining. Thank you, Matt Janet, for joining. Thank you, Danju Boats. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce the name well. So please invite your friends, tag somebody, and share this video. Trust me, it's going to help a lot of boys, a lot of parents, a lot of uncles and aunties out there. Thank you, sir Derek, for joining. Thank you, Ma Vivian, for joining. So I want to tell you guys about, let me first give you the statistics on what I have found out that is actually happened to boys. Okay, 1 out of 6 boys in America, it has been said that these children undergo this sex molestation. They have had sex with either adults or kids. They have had sex with either adults or kids. 1 out of these kids have had sex. So you'll be imagining, how did it happen? I thought I was with my kids all the while. I thought I knew them more than they know themselves. You don't believe it, because they have played group, they have friends, they go to school, you're not there with them. So it's important. So statistics had it that as many as 1 out of 6 boys in America by the age of 16 have had unwanted sex with either adult or older kids, older children. So 1 out of this group of people, I'm telling you, Farah, thank you for joining. 1 out of 6 boys in America, you see, and nobody's talking about it. It's actually a very big concern, because whether you like it or not, okay, except you don't want to be a mother, except you don't want to be a father, except you don't want to be an uncle, you just want to overlook this small thing. It's important. Theophilus Mokoko, thank you for joining. So let's not just put our concentration on the girl child, because everybody's just talking about the girl child right, molestation, about the girl child abuse, female child abuse, this, oh my god. Let's also look at the male child. Because there's also humans. Some of these boys are going through a lot of pain inside their heart, what they've gone through, that they can't share with anybody. They can't share. Some of them cannot even be able to tell their best friends about it. So one of these boys actually confided in me and told me, please don't tell anybody. And I'm like, okay. I've been also keeping this story for quite some time now, but it just got to me, and I'm like, what? Wait a minute. If I don't tell anybody, if I don't come out to say this thing, it's a lot of other boys will be facing the same thing. So why don't you talk it? Why don't you say it? Why don't you talk about it? You never can tell how many people, how many lives you'll be helping, how many people you'll be saving, how many parents you'll be enlightening, how many boys you'll be educating out there. So Ogechi, thank you for joining. God bless you. Share this video, tag your friends, invite your friends. We are talking about, be careful, your male child might be molested without your notice. So you are not God, you are not always there with them. You don't, no matter how you say, oh, I know my children, they can't do that, they can't do this. Be careful. Come on, be careful. So if we do the right thing, then we leave the rest in the hands of God, because we don't have the ability to actually get it all 100% in check. But with our little ability, with our little help, can actually help this whole situation to be reduced. So if 1 out of 6 boys in America at the age of 16 undergo this whole thing, have had sex, had an unwanted sex with either adults or older children. You can't imagine at the age of 16, so you can't imagine what is going on out there. Thank you so much, Sir Obi Ojimadu, for joining. Thank you so much, Sir David Itoya. Thank you so much for joining. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce the name well. So today we're talking about be careful. Your male child might be undergoing, might be molested without your notice, And so let me tell you this story this guy told me. This guy was my very good friend, and he's still my friend. So he just one time, he always feel depressed, and I always get, I always want to inquire, why are you always like this? Why are you always feeling like this? Sometimes he's sitting down and he's lost. He's unconscious. It seems like he's no longer himself. It seems like he's no longer there. Thank you, Joyce, for joining. God bless you. And I try to understand why somebody can be in a particular place but be lost. So I came out with my own, little play and little way of teasing people and all that. And just like we're becoming very good friends. One day he told me, he said, Gift, do you know how many times I've been molested as a child? Even as a boy child. And I was like, wow, don't tell me you've gone through molestation. I never knew it's common with boys. I thought it's only with girls. It's like, no. Do you know that when I was growing up, my father had this company, and we had people from foreign countries who come to work with us, people from China, who come to work with us, and we have some other Africans who work with us, who are Nigerians. So, but my father never knew what was happening to me, because he said to me that his father usually take him to work. Then most of the times the father always leave him in the office, and then goes out with his other boys to go get some goods and all that. So he said to me, he said, whenever the father is not around, there's this boy right there in the father's company who will take him and take him there's a particular corner where these guys used to smoke weed. They smoke this weed. Excuse me, I'm having problem with my throat. They smoke this weed, and he doesn't even know what it's all about. As at that time, he was about 5-6 years old. So he said to me that these guys will give him the same thing to smoke, and he'll be like, no, I don't know how to smoke it, and they force him to smoke it. So while he's smoking this thing, they'll pull off his trousers and trying to play with his penis. So while he's coughing, still trying to struggle with the smoke of the weed, these boys are playing with his penis, and he'll be feeling so bad. But they will threaten him that if you tell your father, we will kill you. If you get to know, if your father or anybody get to know about what we are enjoying, they call it enjoyment, what we are enjoying, we will kill you. You can imagine a boy of 6 years old, and out of fear, this boy will keep it to himself. So sometimes he said to me that Gift, anytime the father wants to take him alongside to the office, he's always scared, he's always afraid to go. But the father, on the other hand, wanted to just teach him how, from child, from little, how the company runs, how it looks like, so that the workers will get to know that this is my son. Unknowingly to the father that the same people who he pays salary are molesting his boy child. And this boy is so afraid to tell the father, because they said to him that if you tell your father, you will die. So they put him in bondage, made him so scared that till today the father does not know anything he went through as a boy child. Thank you so much, Marcules, for joining. God bless you. Please share this video, tag your friends, and also invite your friends. You never can tell who you are helping. If you're a mother, if you're a father, your auntie, uncle, please do not neglect your male friends or your female male child. This is so important. A lot of us have been talking about girl child molestation and all that, and I said to myself, wait, where are the guys? Are they not also going through this? And I just recollect, and I just remember the same story this guy told me, confidently told me. And then he said to me, please don't tell anybody. But I said to myself, even after I've kept it for quite a long time, I've just said to myself, if I don't say these things, please, it won't help me, because I am not a male. Yes, I'm not a male. It didn't help me. Okay, it just helped me to also know how to take care of my own male child when I give birth to him, but it won't help mothers and parents and other male and other boys out there who might have gone through the same thing, or are even going through the same thing. Thank you so much, Mr. Frank, for joining. Thank you so much, Kalwambo, for joining. God bless you. So be careful. Your male child might be going through this molestation, and you really don't know. You're not aware, because you think, oh, well, not too many people pay attention about the boy child. I think the target is just on the male child. So let me focus more on my girl child rather than the male. But it's actually wrong. Is actually wrong. So if these statistics can be so true, this thing was posted in January 2011. So if out of 6 boys in America, at the age of 16, for God's sake, that this kid they've had unwanted sex with either adult or older children, then we should also talk about the male child here, because some of them they didn't have those sex with clear mind or with agreements. It was just out of force. So this boy suffered this molestation from this group of boys without his father knowing it. Even though imagine, he always comes to the same office, he looks at the same boys, and he's so afraid to even tell his own father, who pays this guy's salary. So this little boy also forgot that his father has the right and the ability to sack these boys and get them arrested. But because of the threats that if you tell your father, well, you will die, we will kill you, or something bad will happen to you. So he was so scared to open up to the world. He was so scared to tell his father, Daddy, this is what I've been going through. So he's always scared when his father tells him, come, let's go to the office. He's like, no, Daddy, no, I don't want. The father will grab him by the hand, put him, and these things happen because he goes to school. But most times, when he returns, when school is over, the driver goes to pick him and bring him to the same office. So he has to stay with the father till work time is over, and then they'll both go home. So this little boy was undergoing this molestation on daily basis. So this guy was always unconscious, even as a grown-up adult. He's about 20-something years now. But what he faced yesterday is still in his head, such that he can sit for minutes and be lost. Totally lost. He's not thinking straight. Sometimes I just call him, hey, he's like, I'm like, are you okay? What is wrong with you? I just know that something was wrong with that young man. So I didn't stop at any length, but to really know what was wrong with him, only for me to find out that this molestations that he faced when he was growing up is still what you were thinking, is still what is haunting him. See, sometimes it's like the vision, the thing just comes to him. It's like he's seeing himself being molested. Thank you so much, Oluwatosin, for joining. God bless you. Please tag somebody, invite your friends. I'm sure this message is going to help some of us. So, just like I was saying, this thing did not end. This molestation did not even stop there. Guess what? At the age of 11, 12, his own auntie in school, his own teacher, his own teacher in school was also sexually molesting this innocent boy. Amazing. I was like, what? What did you say? He said, my own teacher. He said he needed to see how big this woman was. And I was like, is she not married? Why on earth will a woman want to molest a boy for crying out loud? This female teacher wanted this guy by all means. Thank you so much, Bukola, for joining. Izu, thank you for joining. God bless you. So, the molestation at his father's office, it was even a preparation to the greater one he was going to face. So right there in school, his own teacher, his own female teacher, was molesting him, and the teacher threatened to kill him or something like that. If I ever get to know, if anybody get to know what is happening between the both of us, I will kill you. And I was like, what did you say? He's like, that this woman was having sex with him and he will be crying. He will be feeling pains. Oh, Jesus. He will be crying, but the woman didn't give a damn. So this thing got so much to me, and I was like, please, let's not just talk about the female child here. Let somebody also talk about the male child. I know some boys have gone through this, but they are so afraid. They are so fearful. They are like, oh, if I go through this, if I tell somebody, how will people look at me? What would they say? All of those things. So they prefer to die in silence. They prefer to keep it to themselves rather than to tell the truth, rather than to come out to talk about this whole menace that is raging, that is just so unacceptable. This is not acceptable, for God's sake. So this woman was busy molesting this boy and threatened him such that he cannot say a word. He didn't tell his friends, he didn't tell his parents. And guess what? Every day after school, the woman will tell him, wait for me. Wait for me, I want to see you. And every other student out there will think that, oh, either the boy did not do his home assignment properly, or the boy is having issues with school, or the boy is having some problem with this teacher. That's why the teacher is always telling him, hey, wait for me. Hey, wait for me. I want to see you after school. Those students never knew that after school, that this woman will go have sex with this boy. And he was so afraid to talk about it. He was so afraid to tell somebody. So he said to me, one of the reasons why I didn't have boldness to, talk about these things were because I was scared. So I said to him, why didn't you tell your father? Why didn't you tell your father? Guess some of the things I'll be telling you today, how to avoid these molestations, are some of the reasons this guy listed to me. Why he was afraid of telling somebody. Why he was afraid to open up, to tell somebody. So I cannot mention his name because it's supposed to be confidential. So this guy, till today, he is still feeling the pains of yesterday. How he was used. How he was constantly used by his father's workers, and then by a teacher, a female teacher in school. Oh my God. Oh my God. So I said to myself, imagine that female teacher is HIV positive. she would have transferred this thing to this innocent boy. Oh God. Oh Jesus. This female teacher would have transferred these diseases that she's carrying, that she got probably from other men, to this innocent boy. To this innocent boy who knew nothing about life, who is not sexually ready for anything like this, who is not even emotionally ready. Oh my Jesus. So I said to myself, if nobody talk about this thing, it is really going to be a problem even in the future as we go on in this life. If nobody sees it as a reason to talk about, then we are doing more harm to ourselves than good. We are doing more harm to ourselves than good. So now I want to tell you how to avoid this molestation. One of the points I'm going to give, some of the points I'm going to give you today are the reasons why this guy wasn't confident enough to tell anybody. These were some of the reasons he wasn't confident enough to tell anybody. Now, how to avoid this molestation? One of my points here is be open to your kids. Be open to your children. Some of our parents really are not open. They are not open. They are not just open to these kids. They are not friends with these children. You are not your children's friend, and you think you're doing more good to them as parents, as uncles, and as aunties. Mr. Henry, thank you for joining. Please share this video and tag your friends. It is very important. I remember, like in my life story that I told you guys a few days ago, I told you guys that there was this girl who brought a sex toy in my school, and she asked me to try it out. Trust me, she wasn't living with her mother. She was living with her auntie, and her auntie was working in the bank. Her auntie was a busy woman who works in the bank, only to send this child to school. But see what this girl has turned out to be, such that she even moves around with sex toys. So if I can imagine if that auntie was open enough to that girl, she wouldn't have been that corrupt. She wouldn't have been that spoiled. So this boy, his parents weren't open to him. So you have to be friends with your kids. His parents were too busy. They were too busy to even think about whether or not he's going through anything, whether or not he's facing any problem. They think, okay, I've given you clothes, I've given you money, I've put you in school, you have food to eat, there's shelter over your head. What is it that you want? What is it that you want? So they don't even think that, oh, could it be possible that this my son will be going through sex molestation? It's like, can it really be possible? Can I see it as important to educate this my boy on these things? So he said to me that his parents were not open to him. They were not friends with him. So he wasn't confident enough to tell them anything. So the molestation he was going through, he wasn't confident to confide in them. And that was where he was constantly molested with the fear of still be telling anybody. With the fear that if he tells anybody, he's going to die. So parents, uncles, aunties, everyone out there, please be open with your kids. Be open with your sisters and brothers. Be friends with them. That's one of the ways they can open up to tell you some of their deepest secrets that they wouldn't want to share with you. So if this guy had kept this thing from his own friends, from his own parents, imagine, and then found me, worthy enough to hear the hardest, the deepest side of his life. So that means I was more than a friend. I was also a sister. I was open to him. I could share my own life stories with him, so that gave me confidence to share with me his own as well. So if you're friends with your kids, they will also be friends with you. So number 2, tell your children about your daily activities. Tell your children about your daily activities. Tell your children about your daily activities. If you are a mother, and imagine you went out and you had a psych, and a man asked you out, even being married, even being mother, even having kids, you are even telling the man, no, I'm sorry, I am a mother, I'm married, I have children, and the man still did not pay attention. He still wanted you. So you let go of the man, and then you head home straight. So if you are friends with your kids, you're just going to call your kids, hey, come, hey, you guys come, I have gist for you guys today. And they're like, oh, mommy, you always have gist for us. Or you tell us, so what happened today? It's like, guys, do you know I had a crush today? And everybody's going to laugh. And you give high five. So everybody's relaxed. And you're telling your children, oh, do you know I had a crush today? This man, even after I told him I was married with my wedding ring, he still wanted me. And everybody's just going to laugh with such atmosphere. After your own story, guess what? Don't be surprised, your own child will also tell you, mommy, do you know what happened also today? A guy also asked me out. Oh, he told me my bumps are looking nice. Oh, he told me I have a nice size of breast. Oh, he told me this. Oh, a lady looked at me and told me that my pennies are big. You know, they are going to be telling you, revealing to you some in-depth things that even beating, even by hitting the child, he might not be able to tell you. Even by hitting that child, he might not be able to open up to tell you all of that. But being that you are excuse me, that you are this person who tells your children your daily activities, with such atmosphere, they will always tell you anything. Trust me, they will always tell you anything. Mr. Kufre, thank you for joining. God bless you, sir. So invite your friends. Please drop your comments if, in case you had some experience growing up as a child, maybe not molestation or something. Just drop. Also share this video. Invite your friends. Trust me, somebody will learn something today. You never can tell who this video today will help. Okay, so let's continue. So tell your children about your daily activities. So if you are a father and you had a crush from another woman, please, since you are friends to your children, don't be too big. Don't feel too big. Don't feel shy to come and tell your children, especially when they're of age. When they're of age, tell them, do you know what happened today, baby girls, baby boys? Come on, let me tell you a story. A woman psyched me today, and I told her no, I was married, and she's like, she still wants me, and I walked away. Believe me, in such a family, it will be difficult for anybody to have a deeper secret without sharing it. In such a family, in such a condition, such an atmosphere, everybody cannot just wait to share their stories. It's like you having a relationship with God. The relationship you have with God, it's such that you should make an open relationship. Like Ketukuma, she had an open relationship with God, such that she discusses her daily activities with God. It's as if she was seeing God like this, physically. So every day she goes out, she comes back, she's just going to sit down and just telling Jesus, oh, Daddy, do you know what happened today? I did this, I did that, I did this wrong, I did this right, I did this. So, and she just waits for an answer. So these things are what we are supposed to, build in our homes, build in our kids. Confidence, friendship. Relationship. We're supposed to build these things in our kids, and let it not be that everybody is just expecting the children to tell their own story, but let it be that it's also parents telling their own stories to their kids. So when you tell your daily life activities to your children, believe me, they will also tell you their daily activities, whether it's wrong or right. They will tell you. They will be open enough to tell you, oh daddy, this is what happened, oh mommy, this is what happened, oh see the way it happened. And please, the next point we are going to say, third point of how to avoid this molestation is don't be too harsh on them. So whenever they tell you the wrong side, the bad side, all the bad things that happen in school, in wherever, or what a man told them, what a lady told them, what they went through, even they did wrong, please don't be too harsh on them. Don't be too harsh on them. They will go back to their smear. They will all hide. The moment you yell on them, you don't always want to hear anything bad. They will all run back to their shells. I remember a man then in Nigeria. Sometimes I used to go to their house, to help them do some things. Guess what? This man will always be saying, oh, my children do not do pornography. When they come back from school, I check their laptops, because the kids are boarding house kids, so I check their laptop, I do this. He's so confident that, oh, the children do not know this. And I inside my mind, I was saying to myself, don't be too sure. Because a smart kid will delete it before he comes home. If the child knows, we're coming home for holiday, they will delete it. When they come, you check all their laptops, you won't find anything. But it doesn't mean they don't know anything. So rather than being too strict, thank you so much, Sadem, for sharing this video. God bless you. And for those of us who have not shared, I encourage you to share this video. Believe me, you will be helping somebody out there. Believe me, this video will be saving lives, not for my sake, but the sake of innocent boys who are going through this molestation. Please share this video. Invite your friends. It is important. Share this video, invite your friends, and also drop your comments if you can, if you have any. So, like I was saying, this man was we were just so proud, telling us this, that. But it is better to be friends with your kids, to tell them your daily activities, not to be too harsh with them, correct them if need be, but don't make them feel like slaves in their own house. Don't make them feel like slaves such that they will never, no matter how you threaten them, no matter how you beat them. There are some children who have a very strong heart that they will never tell you. They will never tell you. If you want, boil them inside hot water. They won't tell you. Not because of you, but because the person they had the thing with is telling them, if you say a word, you would die. So the children also don't want to die. These kids don't want to die. It's like something's going to happen to them the moment they just tell these truths. So you threatening them, you being harsh, you not being a friend, we help them. We won't help them. Thank you so much, Chris Henry, for joining. God bless you. So please, one of the ways, like I said, to avoid this whole molestation is be friends with your kids. One, tell your children your daily activities. We are in number 3, which says don't be too harsh with your kids. Don't be too harsh to them. Don't be too harsh, because this harshness will make them not be open to you. Number 4, we have give them the right sex education. Give them the right sex education. Okay, for the children who are just perhaps they are just 4 or 5 years old, I know you might not sit down to start telling them about a man and a woman having sex. It might be awkward. It might sound awkward. So I think the best thing to do is to tell them, my princess, my loving angel, if any man touches any part of your body, don't fail to tell me. Remember, we are friends. So you put this joy, and believe me, if any of them touch you and tell you if you tell anybody you're going to die, tell them daddy has strength, mommy has strength, my daughter won't die, I have strength, by my strength you won't die. Just something to make them remember that their father's words is greater, can cover them more than any other person's deceit out there. Their mother's words will cover them no matter what any other person tells them out there. You get? So tell your male child the same thing. If any woman, if anybody tries to touch any part of your body, don't fail to tell me. So if you're friends with your kids, you tell them, you're open with them, you tell them your daily activities, you're not too harsh with them. Believe me, they won't fail to do this. They won't fail to tell you that part of their life. Anything that happens to them, good, bad, ugly, they can't wait. Oh, home is so lovely, home is so joyful, home is something I'm missing. So anywhere they are missing home. They just can't wait to tell you. They are looking for the phone to tell you, mommy, this happened, oh, see, this. They can't wait to share it with you because you are their friend. So since they are pretty kids, you can give them such education towards the sex, but you know what you're doing as a father, as a mother, as an uncle, auntie. So these little kids, you can tell them this ones, but the ones who are getting to perhaps 9, 10, 15 and all that, give them the proper right sex education. Don't say 9 years old is too young. It's a lie. These children are facing these things. So if that small boy come at the age of between 5, 6, 7 years, he was constantly undergoing this sex molestation, then you shouldn't tell me that, oh, I didn't tell him because he was too young. Now you see the problem. You see what he was, the problem he's facing, and he's afraid to let it out. He's afraid to tell anybody because he doesn't want to die. So if you were a friend with him, if you had opened a little about sex to him, tell him your daily activities and not be too much with him, he would have told you long time ago, even before it got worse. Even before it got to the extreme, he would have opened up to tell you. So what this guy went through growing up as a child and teenager is still affecting his adulthood. He's finding it difficult to let go. If you have not gone through it, you might not understand. If you have not experienced it, you won't understand. I'm trying so hard to make him forget about it, to make him focus, to make him see it as a reason to share with others not to go through the same molestation, to use his life as a testimony, but he's afraid. Just the same way girls go through molestation and they're ashamed to tell anybody because it's like, if I tell him now, if I tell this life story about being molested, who will marry me? Mr. Olayemi, thank you for joining. God bless you. Please share this video, invite your friends. It's very important. Everybody has been talking about the girl child. I have chosen to also talk about the male child because it's all important. They are going through the same molestation here. It's not just about the female child. The male child are also facing molestation, and please, we have to talk about it. We have to talk about it. It's important. So if you are too careful about your girl child, also be careful about your male child. Teach them the same thing you would also teach the male. Teach them the importance of who they are, the importance of sex education. So the next point we have here, which is our 5th point, give them freedom of speech. That you will not find in every home. That you will not definitely find in every home. Trust me, you will not find freedom of speech. Oh my God, is daddy's word, is daddy's home, is mommy is the second in command, and everybody keeps quiet. Mr. Bema, thank you for joining. Mr. Kwasi, thank you for joining. Please share this video and invite your friends. So, being a male child, it's important. You didn't make yourself a male child, a male, yes, but it's a responsibility. Your parents have owed you the responsibility of telling you truth about a male, truth about yourself, and giving you the freedom to also express your own view about yourself. You know, like I said, if our parents are friends with us, if our parents tell us their daily life activities, if our parents are not too harsh with us, if our parents give us the right sex education, and if our parents give us freedom of speech, trust me, these kids will open up to you. These kids will open up to you. Especially most African families you go to, trust me, daddy is the head of the family, so you just have to regulate what you say. You just have to be careful to say a word, or you will be flogged. Or daddy will spank you. So, but parents have forgotten that yes, these children are true athletes, and forgetting that kids learn very fast. So, male children out there, most of them are going through this sex molestation, and nobody's talking about it. We need to talk about it. If you give your child freedom of speech, trust me, that freedom of speech will enable the child to tell you anything. It will enable the child to even have confidence to look at the opponent, to look at whoever wants to, molest them, to look into their eyes and speak some sense to them, no matter the age. So train your children with so much confidence, understanding of who they are and how important they are and every part of their body is, and so nobody has the right to touch any of it without their notice, without telling them, and without even taking permission from their parents. Yes. So your freedom, if you give them freedom of speech, if you don't always shun them when they want to talk nonsense. Hey, this child wants to talk some nonsense, and you just shun them. Okay, that means you think they are talking is nonsense, right? So a child is telling you that daddy, in our class today, a boy tried to put his hand inside one girl's, skirt or underwear, and because that child is about maybe 4 or 5 years, you are like, shut up, Junior, shut up, what are you saying? Where did you get them naughty words from? If I ever hear you say such naughty words, okay, you have just shut his mouth for life. He's never going to tell you anything he sees that he thinks daddy will not like to hear. He will tell you again. Since you have just shut him up from even telling you the one that did not happen to him, that was that happened in class, trust me, when it happens to him, he won't tell you. He won't tell you. So this young boy was going through this molestation in his father's company. In his right there in his father's company, and the father was feeling like a boss, like a big boy. Of course, he was a big boy, he has money. He was paying those guys salary, but his own child was being molested by the same people he paid salary. By the same wicked people he's paying salary, who call him sir, good morning sir, good day sir, good evening sir, can I help you do this? Sir there. But they are taking advantage of his own blood, his own child. Even if that child was not his own blood, even if that child was a maid, nobody has the right to molest a mother. So this little boy was going through this sex molestation every blessed day. Such that he told me, Gift, I will even cry when my father asked me to follow him to the company. I will cry, I will say, Daddy, I don't want to go. I don't want to go, Daddy. But the daddy didn't understand that, maybe this boy is afraid. He doesn't want to, he doesn't like to see people. So because he doesn't like to see people, let me always keep bringing him to this company so that he will get used to people and be bold enough. When I'm late, when I'm dead, he will have the confidence to look everybody in the eyes. Really? The father and the mother was busy chasing money. They never remember that a boy child can actually undergo molestation. So the same people who called his father yes sir were busy taking advantage of him, and he did not even end there, including his female teacher in class. So our parents, we have to be careful. Be open to your children, be friends with them. Don't be too harsh with your children. Be open, tell them your daily activities. If any man psych you as a mother, please be open, tell your children, hey, baby girls, do you know what happened? Baby boys, do you know what happened? A man psyched me. Imagine, I even showed him when I was married. He still psyched me, he still wanted me. Can you imagine this word? And you just give high five, everybody just laugh about it. And your own children confidently brings out their own stories, what happened to them on daily basis. So if everybody share their daily life activities, what happens to them as mother, as father, as children, you'll be so amazed what you'll be hearing from your little children's mouths. What will be coming out from their mouths? You'll be amazed. You'll be surprised that an uncle or an auntie can be confident to want to molest a little child. So it is not something we should hide. It is not something we should keep quiet. It is something we have to talk about. I am not yet a mother, but I am also angry. I am angered because I heard this guy's childhood experience. I was like, what? You have to go through all this and nobody know about it. Nobody. And the same thing, trust me, the same thing, some parents are too spiritual. They are too holy. They are God chasers, forgetting that there is some important information they are supposed to give their children. There's some, you don't just chase God and lose your family. In a hierarchy, it is God, family before ministry. So if you lose your family, you are a failure. So after God, it is your family before that ministry you are chasing, before that money, before that company. Before that company, that money that is hovering all over your head. It is your family that comes first. Let us not chase money and lose our own children. Some of our children are going through a lot, but they are too afraid because these people who are molesting them are telling them if you tell anybody you will die. So they are so afraid. They can't tell anybody. Anytime they want to share, they just remember that, that auntie said if I say it I will die. They will keep quiet. They won't say it. That uncle said if I say this thing I will die. They will keep quiet. Some of them can even fake some, covenants by piercing their hands with either needle or razor blade, and they say today you have entered a blood covenant. If you tell anybody you die, you see this blood will speak against you the moment you want to say a word. It is important. It is important we become friends with our children. We become friends with these children. Tell them your daily activities so that they can be bold enough to also tell you their daily activities. Be friends with them, be open with them. Share the importance of them being women, them being male. Tell them how important it is. Don't be too harsh with them when they tell you the bad side of their lives or whatsoever that happened to them just as they went out. Don't be too harsh to say, no, you are too small to say these things. You are too young to, for somebody to have put his or her hands inside your clothes. So don't say it again. Rather than solving the problem, you are attacking the child. You have not succeeded in doing anything, but succeeded in killing that child's ability to tell you next time when even greater one will happen. Thank you so much, Ma'am Miriam Jude, for joining. God bless you. Please share this video. share this video, a lot of boys are undergoing daily sex molestation. Daily sex molestation without we parents knowing about it, without our uncles and aunties knowing about it. Some children are undergoing this sex molestation in school. Trust me, some in church. Believe me, some even in church, in mosques, in parties, where they go for parties. Oh, it doesn't take 1 hour to molest a child. It takes minutes, and that child will live with that memory for life. So this young boy was always absent-minded because of the pains of yesterday. How he was sexually molested by his father's workers and his auntie in school, and he wasn't confident to tell anybody because he was afraid that he was going to die, because they tell, if you tell anybody, you will die. Parents, we need to be careful. We really need to be careful. So if you want to avoid some of these things, some of this child molestation, please be friends with your kids. Tell them your daily activities. Apart from praying with them, taking them to churches or mosques, or preaching or teaching them the word of God, there is more to it. Because even after telling them, teaching them the word of God, praying with them, it didn't change the fact that they actually went through some nonsense that some people did to them. But because you are not their friends, you are not open with them, you are always shouting at them, they won't tell you. So right there, as you are reading the scriptures and explaining and teaching them the word of God, their mind is not there. They are lost. They are lost because of what somebody had done to them. Because you are not friends, they can't tell you. They can't tell you. So we need to speak up. The reason why I picked this topic to talk about the male is because I was studying something on the internet, and I got statistics that out of 6 children in America, of age 16, one of them have gone through unwanted sex, either with adults or older children. So for God's sake, if these things are true, if these things are raging, then we have to talk about it. Then nobody should be silent. Let's not just be talking about the girl child. The male children are secretly molested without our notice. So tomorrow I'll be telling you about the effects of this molestation, because it has effect on this guy, even though that guy is about 25 years old right now. But the effect of that child molestation is still in him. He is still feeling the pain. He is still lost in thoughts of this same molestation he went through. So we need to talk about it. It's important, parents. It is important. If we don't talk about it, it's going to happen to our children to come. And many guys have gone through it, but they can't say a word. They are afraid and they are ashamed. They are ashamed to say it. They are ashamed to tell any other person, and they are afraid to tell even their parents. So I hope somebody have learned something today about male child molestation. I hope somebody have learned something today. Let me run through the points just to list it again. How to avoid this child molestation is 1. Be open to your children. 2. Tell them your daily activities. The good, the bad, the ugly. If you are a mother, whoever asks you out or whoever psyched you on the streets, don't fail to tell them. When you make them your friends, don't fail to tell them. It is important, because they also also tell you their own. So don't be too harsh with them when they share the good, the bad, the ugly about their lives and their daily activity and daily things that go through their life. Don't Don't be too harsh with them. Give them freedom of speech. Give them freedom of speech. And 5, teach them sex education. Teach them about sex education. These 5 things can help to avoid the menace of tomorrow, can help that child to be free from whatever that will become of him tomorrow. Be an open mother, father, uncle, auntie, sister. It is important to these kids. So thank you so much for joining me today. Tomorrow we're going to still continue talking about the male child. This whole thing has to stop. Somebody had to speak or somebody had to say, else it will continue, trust me. So thank you so much guys for being with me today. My name is Topsy Gift once again. For those of you who have not been following me, don't forget, most of my talk shows, you can get them on my YouTube channel, Topsy Gift, and right on my Facebook like you are there right now. You can also get some of them, Topsy Gift as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so grateful. For those of you who shared, God bless you. For those of you who liked, those of you who commented, thank you so much. God bless you. So bye for now and see you tomorrow. Bye guys.